Um, Hi, I'm Patricia Schmidt, and I'm going to talk to you today about one of the most exciting fields of science in medical circles is regenerative medicine and stem cells. Now, it may not be the same healing properties that Wolverine has, the comic book character, and he's in movies now, but it can, facilitate stem stem cells can facilitate regeneration of your tissues in your body. The body is made up of all of these different cellular systems, everything from your pulmonary systems, and I have a chart to show you some of the systems in the body. As you can see, there's a lot of different systems that are working inside our body every day. Stem cells are different than other body cells in 3 ways, according to medlineplus.gov. It says that stem cells can divide and renew themselves over a long time. And the next way is that they are unspecialized and they can't do specific functions in your body. And the third way is that they have the potential to become specialized cells that can do the functions in your body. And there are 3 main types of stem cells. There are embryo sourced stem cells. There are adult stem cells, and then there are what they call pluripotent cells that are made in a laboratory. And there's different kinds of adult stem cells, but the one that's gathering all the attention is the mesenchymal stem cells that come from your body, and if they are extracted from your body and re-injected into your body, and we'll be talking more about that in a minute. The chart that I have here says what are stem cells? They're undifferentiated cells with the capacity to both differentiate and multiply into the 200 cell types that form a human body. And medlineplus.gov was where I got this chart and talked about the 200 different kinds of cells in the human body. So that's a lot of cells. The science is growing so much. Here's a chart of all of these different trials that are going on right now in the United States. There's just hundreds and hundreds of them, as you can see here. As of this chart is what I downloaded from NIH, National Library of Medicine. And the mesenchymal stem cell, what it does is that it self-replicates itself, and it can be injected in different parts of your body where you need healing, whether it be from a disease or an injury. The MSC is the what they call the mesenchymal cells. They don't like to say the word, I guess. And they're the ones that's making, they're the stem cells that are really making a difference right now, and that research is really studying because it's the most successful type of stem cell to date. The mesenchymal cells, they are autologous, autologous. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, all of these medical terms, but it means that it comes from your own body. So you don't have to worry about if there's contamination or incompatibility, none of those issues are valid. And a lot of you hear a lot of advertisements for embryo stem cells, and like on TV and just about anywhere medical. But they belittle the mesenchymal cells, saying, well, they're, your cells, if you're older, they're not that good, and they are good. But the FDA has, in 2019, started shutting down these clinics because they were lying and they were they were found guilty of fraud and deception. And that's, of course, at the FDA website, where they talk about the new efforts they're making in the last couple of years to shut down these embryo stem cell places. There's the MSC stem cells started about 1970. And one of the early pioneers was Dr. Arnold Kaplan. Now he's 78 years old and the professor of biology and director of the Skeletal Reserve Center at Case Western Reserve University. Anyway, he still goes to work and he still researches at 78 years old. But he said, if you break a bone, there is a cell in your bone that is already there to make a new bone. What the mesenchymal cell does is it pauses that cell and it gives it a molecule to make it divide. And then it gets it to make a new bone. The mesenchymal cell does not make a new bone, but the mesenchymal cell is the instructor and the manager of regeneration of every tissue. So that means he's saying that the mesenchymal cell doesn't do it particularly, but what it does, it's like the manager. It's like a traffic cop saying, okay, we're dealing with the heart now, so I'm going to get my cardiac cells in order here and tell them to start healing. Gives them that healing instruction. So that's how the process works. And then reason that the embryo cells are not successful, and that the FDA found out that, or researched that they are exposed to ionic radiation to sterilize the samples of embryo stem cells. And when they apply that ionic radiation, it kills out most of the cells. So all of these clinics were making, these claims that their embryo stem cells were great and they would heal everything, and they don't. So now that you know a little bit about the stem cells and what they are, wanted to talk about some of the conditions that can be healed. Everything from heart problems to osteoarthritis, injuries, and a lot of the professional sports, athletes have been getting stem cell procedures done, treatments done in another country. And some of them are Kobe Bryant had it done, many of them, but one of the most famous is Rafael Nadal, who's won the most opens, most tennis matches in the big tennis matches of anybody. And he had it done twice. The first time was on his back and the second time was on his knees. And I wanted to show you a picture of Rafael in action, but I didn't get it loaded up. But if you know anything about tennis, you know how much it takes on your knees. It's hard on your knees and your legs and your back. And so instead of having surgery like so many other athletes have done, Raphael decided to have the stem cell procedure, and it's been very successful for him for the last 10 years, because his first procedure was in 2012. Well, the next thing I wanted to cover was, now that we know that stem cells can treat all these different things, I wanted to take isolated case and show you the stem cell results with the one case. I think I went by the x-ray, but anyway, so let's just go and talk about how they extract the stem cells from your body. And they do it through bone marrow in your iliac crest, which is, if you look here on the screen, it shows a little syringe going into your hip there. And it's actually in your back where they extract it. And then they put it in a centrifuge and split it into 3 different things, and stem cells and fluid and platelet-rich plasma. And they use all of that in the treatments that they give. And after they process it and spin it and everything, then they inject it wherever it's needed. Yeah, I think I went by that. I was going to show that hip. The the patient, the one thing that you got to do is research if your injury or your disease can be treated by stem cells. And so this person that we saw the hip x-ray of for just a second, researched and found out that she could have it done. And she researched places that would do it, because not all clinics handle hips. They do a lot of knees. The next thing you have to do is schedule all of that and save up money, because none of it's covered by insurance. So that's a big detriment to the area of stem cell research. She found a place in St. Louis, Missouri called Blue Tail Medical Group. And she's had 2 procedures. Treatments from healing that Wolverine offers people in the comic books, but it is a real thing. And so stem cells are really specialized cells that can become anything in your body. And there's everything from baldness to arthritic knees and hips and shoulders that can be helped with mesenchymal cells. And the reason I know that is because that patient was me. And in 2017, I was in a wheelchair, and now I walk. I don't walk very well, but I walk. And I don't need Wolverine. Thank you.